quitting smoking comes with a huge wave of anxiety, just basic anxiousness of it becomes very, very powerful, and you have to get through that. I had a friend who said at some point in my life and her life, she's changed her mind since then, that if you quit smoking, you get one chance, and that you should really make it count, because then if you don't quit, and then you want to try again, then your barrier to quitting your quitting is much lower, and you'll be much more likely to give up. And I can very happily say that she is completely wrong, or was completely wrong about that. I found that I learned a lot about my failures in the attempts. So I was curious, and a friend I had smoked. I was at her house, and then we were watching, I think, How I Met Your Mother or some comparable sitcom, and then she got a cigarette for herself, and I was just curious, and I wanted to try one too. And I did, and that was the very first cigarette I ever smoked. I only smoked a cigarette here or there for a while, until at some point I was very stressed, and then I decided to get a pack, and I knew that what I was doing was not clever. And then I sort of got through the period of stress, and I smoked quite a bit, and since then I was a smoker. I remember that previous attempts at stopping sort of ran on the rocks, like they failed due to me convincing myself that I sort of did want to smoke. So there's a lot of time that you spend arguing with yourself. At least I spent. Yes, this is true for me. I would argue myself out of my attempts. I'm like, this is not worth it. Oh my God, do you really want to live like this? Do you honestly think you can live life without smoking? Is this what life will be like? Always anxious, never having the chance to relax and you know it's the right decision, or you know what, just have this one, and then you'll calm down, and then you'll get an overview, and then we can try again. But you stop your, at least for me, I always stopped my attempts at stopping with one cigarette. It wasn't like I was quitting, I still had one, and then I kept quitting. No, it was like I was quitting, I had that one, and I'm smoking back completely, like within 2-3 days, back. So I kept wanting to quit because you do get sicker and sicker and sicker. So whenever, like, that's the good thing about smoking. It's very hard to fool yourself that you're not damaging yourself. So I spent some time Googling. I found some forums with people who were trying to quit smoking. I read some books about how to quit smoking. And there was a particular thing that seemed to appeal to me, and this was this NOPE, which is a very silly acronym for not one puff ever. And this is a method. I think maybe we should even look it up and put it in the comments or in the video description, because there's just books online. But I don't remember anything from that method except NOPE. And what I did was, whenever I noticed I was arguing with myself, I would just say NOPE, as in interrupt the thought. Engaging with the arguing demon makes the arguing demon stronger. You don't win an argument with him. The only way that you can control this urge or this voice, it's really a voice, is to cut it off. Nope, 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 nope. That really helped. And another thing that I did differently was that I tried to make life easy for you, my wife. Before my previous attempt, I tried to quit when you weren't around, and like, I'll just quit because Billy's gonna go for like 6 weeks. This is the time I quit smoking, and then I won't have to burden her with my suffering. And this time I said, no, forget about all of that. And I told you, I'm going to be terrible for quite a while. Forgive me, I need to get through this. This is going to suck. Please forgive me, I'm going to be a very spiky human being. And then I let myself be a spiky human being. I didn't feel too guilty about it. I didn't obsess about that guilt, because then you're sort of, again, dwelling on the negative aspects of quitting. And instead, I just let you take care of me. I let my wife take care of me. And I ate a bunch of candy. And I said, nope, 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 nope. And, and we celebrated the victories. It was very silly. We would, because you don't want the process to be only hardship. So at the end of every day, we would celebrate the victory. And I think we even did a silly dance. Is that where we came up with a silly dance? Yeah, so we came up with a silly celebrate the victory dance, and we would do it at the end of every day. One day, no smoking. Celebrate the victory, celebrate the victory. And then day 2, and then day 3, and then day 4. And if you keep celebrating that victory explicitly in a silly way that sort of really sticks, then after day 8, if you now smoke again, you invalidate all those celebrations, and it becomes a lot more painful to quitting. That also was very helpful. It's not a discrete moment. So it takes quite a while, and quite a while I mean weeks or months, before you have, at least at the level that I was addicted, before you have a day where you don't think about smoking. But there will come a day after a couple of months where at the end of the day maybe you realize, wait, I didn't think about smoking today. And then the day after you will still think about smoking. But then another day will happen. And then another day. And at some point maybe 3 or 4 days happen. And then maybe 8 days happen. And at some point you sort of have long periods of time where you don't think about smoking, but it's now been 3 or 4 years. And I still occasionally have like a, ooh, I want to smoke. But it comes, I look at it and I go, and it goes away. And then it stays gone for weeks, if not months. So the urges, they become smaller and smaller and smaller and more sporadic and more sporadic and more sporadic. First of all, quit nicotine. So don't try gum, don't try patches. Quit nicotine completely. Cold turkey. Don't try to do other things while you quit smoking, at least for the first week or 2. So don't try to also lose weight. Don't try to also exercise. Don't try to be a nice person. Tell the people around you that you're going to be a bit unpleasant. Don't worry too much about all of that. Your one focus should be quit smoking. Don't quit smoking if you have a very stressful time at work. Find some time where the world doesn't demand too much of you, and you are part of the world. As in you don't demand too much of yourself either. You demand one thing. I don't have a particular method I want to advise, because I think people struggle with the process of quitting smoking for different reasons. So the advice I can give is seriously try to quit. Give it an extremely honest, forthright, sincere effort. Put in every scrap of energy you have. If you succeed, well done. If you fail, don't despair. Give it some time. Look at how it went wrong. Look at how you went wrong. Think of a way of trying again, that you can do it differently, and then muster all your energy and try again. And you keep doing that until you quit. Completely. Don't give up. Know that you can do it. It's that simple. You can do it. After you've done it for a while, it becomes a lot easier. And once you deflate the power of the voice of the smoker inside you, at some point you'll look back and you'll think, wow, how was that voice ever so powerful? Because it's completely and truly empty and hollow. It's just that you don't think it is. Ciao. This is how I quit smoking. Good afternoon. Welcome to my video about my cessation of smoking. This is a video about how I quit smoking. This video, although it is about how I quit smoking, might contain secret boobs. Be on the lookout.